Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, Gabby on Paper. In today's video, we are going to go through my 2024 goals. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm keeping track of my goals using Notion, and that is what you see here on screen. I don't use Notion for everything, for like daily planning or anything. It's more for like long-term things like goals or books I want to read, books I've read, places I want to travel, things like that. So today, again, we're looking at my goals page, and I'm going to go through both my financial goals and just my personal goals since they're all on here. You'll see them all, so I thought I'd go through them. I don't remember who I got this idea from. I saw it somewhere and I was like, I really like that. I'm going to copy that. And so I did. It wasn't like a template or anything. I just added the pictures and the headers and everything and did it myself. My main three areas are money, the Gabby improvement or like the Gabby improvement fund, and then just random life stuff. So to start off, I want to invest $17,500 amongst all of my investment accounts, which we'll go over a little bit later. I'll have the breakdown of everything. I also want to save $2,500 for a home down payment in case we decide we want to buy a home. A stretch goal would be $4,000. And again, this would be for my half of the down payment. My boyfriend would have his half. I want to bring my emergency fund up to $20,000, which means I would need to save about $2,500 to get it up to that. I want to replenish my sinking funds, and that's because I've used up all of them pretty much. I've really used up my sinking funds throughout the year, and I haven't put any money back. I'm starting to do that now, but they still need a lot of work. And then my final financial goal is to cut my shopping spending by about 50%. Oh man, 2023 was hard. I think I did very well the first quarter, but then the rest of the year I just bought all the things, just everything I wanted. I bought, not really everything because I want a lot of things, but just I couldn't stop myself. It's like clothes, purses, shoes, and other things. I don't know. My apartment is full, my wallet is empty, and it's time to lower that. Even cutting it by 50%, like I still have a lot of room to like buy things I want. This is inspired by Kaylee from Just Finance. She did that with her dining out budget for 2023. And while she, spoiler alert, hasn't hit that goal, she's talked about it in her videos. She did really well, and I want to do that too. So hopefully that works out for me. The next section is Gabby improvement. I want to take at least 6 tennis lessons. My gym has like drills, essentially are like group tennis lessons, which are fairly cheap, around $35. But I want to do something a little more lessony, and ideally my boyfriend and I would get like an instructor a few times to really focus on our own tennis skills and show us how we need to improve or what we're doing wrong or whatever. These are kind of pricey. They're over $100 an hour, but if we split it, it's way more reasonable. In regards to tennis, I do want to be able to keep up a volley, just kind of going back and forth. I'm not trying to play matches or anything. I just want to hit the ball back and forth a lot. So I want to be able to keep up a volley. I can do it for a little bit, but not for very long. So in 2023, I did take up golf, and I think I signed up for 10 lessons, took 9 because the last day was like really rainy, so I didn't go. But I want to play my first round of golf because I didn't get a chance to do that last year. The summer got away from us, we were busy. This year, I want to make sure I get quarterly massages. This was a goal last year and I didn't do it. I only got 1. I am determined to make it happen this year. I want to get at least 4 massages throughout the year. Something that's been on my list for a long time as well is to start a skincare routine. And not just start, obviously, I want to start and maintain a skincare routine. Something basic. It's just time that I do that. I'm getting older and I need to start taking care of my skin. My skin's actually decent. I just wonder what it could be if I tried a little bit. Next is I want to figure out how to do my hair. I've always just like straightened my hair, or when I don't in the summer, I'll just leave it like frizzy, curly, wavy, whatever. But I want to actually learn how to like curl my hair and have it look nice and done. Like I see these people on Instagram and YouTube and I'm like, wow, your hair looks so nice. I could never do that. But I've been actively trying. So I want to continue trying into next year and figure out how I like to do my hair. Next is weights. This is something that I don't really know how to how to word it, but last year my boyfriend and I got into like very, very low-key like weight training. Very, very low-key. I just want to continue that. I'm not trying to get all like buff or anything. I just want a little strength so I can open my own jar of like minced garlic. It always gets stuck and I can never open it. So just basic weights workout is what I want to do, and make sure I continue that throughout the year. The most that we did was 3 times a week, and I think that's just too much with all the other things I like to do. So as long as we do it once to twice a week, I think I'll be okay with that, along with like the Peloton, tennis, swimming, things like that. And then finally, under this category, I want to incorporate swimming into a weekly workout routine. I swam in high school, haven't swam for years and years and years and years. And when we joined our new gym in the very beginning of November, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to do it again. Well, it's hard. It's a lot harder not having done it for years and not having to do it every single day for 2 to 3 hours a day for practice. But I am doing it kind of regularly. I just want to make sure I do it at least once a week, so I'm adding a little bit of variety into my workout routine. Next up is random life stuff. I want to get my broker's license. I'm working commercial real estate. The license is not necessary for my job, but it's always helpful to have. And I just want to have it. My company paid for it, so I can do it. I already have the book, like the study aid. I'm signed up for the classes and everything, so I just have to actually do it. Not having been in school for so many years, it's really hard to like take time each week to study. But I am determined, starting January 1st, to study a little bit each day. I think a minimum of 30 minutes a day, ideally an hour, until I get through the lessons, and then just like watch all the videos all the time. I want to listen to 68 audiobooks, and this is less than what I listened to this year. I think I did about like 80, and then I read books and whatever. But I want to do 68 because I also want to focus on reading physical books and then my Kindle books. So all over the place, 68 audiobooks, 12 physical books, and then the rest would just be Kindle books. And then, not that there's anything wrong, but I want to go to the doctor. I haven't been to the doctor for like a physical in years, at very minimum since moving to Chicago from Utah. So it's been at least 2 years since I've gone to the doctor, probably closer to 3. The dentist, I did go before our move, so it's been about 2 years. It's time to go again. I should go more often. But I want to get into like a regular routine of going to the dentist twice a year for regular like checkups, and going to the doctor the once a year that you're supposed to be going. So I'm determined to do that. We got new insurance through my company starting January 1st, so I'm glad I never found a doctor for my old insurance. And then I did break down some of my goals into quarterly goals. Essentially just want to listen to 17 books per quarter, which should be fine. I listen to books like when I'm getting ready, doing my hair, cleaning the apartment, on the train, walking, like all the time. That's how I'm able to get through so many. I want to read 3 physical books each quarter. We have a library right next door to our apartment, so it's really easy to put books on hold and go pick them up. Sometimes if I'm a little bored and I have nothing to read, I'll just go to the library and walk the aisles until I find a book that looks interesting. So 3 books a quarter shouldn't be hard to do. Again, 1 massage per quarter. I ideally want to max out my Roth IRA in the first quarter. I think it's doable. If you saw my last budget with me, I've already sent $2,000 to my 2024 Roth IRA. It's just sitting in the sinking fund, ready to start contributing in January. So between my paychecks and then March being the third paycheck month, and then any extra would come from my bonus in March, I should be able to max this out fine, but first quarter is when I want to get it done. My broker's license, I hope to get it done by the end of the second quarter. And then for travel, like we have 3 trips that we're considering taking for the year. The first trip, going to Puerto Rico, is booked, ready to go. We're going to go visit my brother who lives there. So that should be done, no problem. It's the other 2 that we haven't booked. We want to go to New York City and then go to the US Open. I think that's in August, September, like Labor Day weekend. And then we also want to go to England to go to like the English countryside with my boyfriend's family, and London for a little bit. So that's when we're hoping to take the trips. Hopefully it happens. And then my final like quarterly breakdown goal is just no clothes shopping for the first quarter. I'm not saying no shopping at all. I'm just saying no clothes shopping. I bought so much clothes throughout the year that I really don't need anything else. I'm thinking that if I can get to Puerto Rico without buying anything new for the trip, then I should be okay. Because in February, I think I'll focus on spending my birthday money on things like hobby stuff. March should be okay, I think, just because in Chicago it's still fairly cold, but spring is also approaching, so I don't want to buy like cold weather clothes. So if there's any time for me to do a no clothes shopping challenge for myself, it's the first quarter. All right, so now we're gonna go into like the financial goals and break those down a little bit more. Okay, so this is like kind of my 2024 investment and savings goals page. This is just a template from Notion. I just typed in like personal finance or savings tracker or something like that. There's a bunch. This is the template that they came up with, and I just like duplicated it for both my sections here. So in investments, I want to invest $17,500, but that also includes employer contributions, the name of like the investment account, I guess, whether it's pre-tax or post-tax, how much I've saved, what the goal is, and then a progress bar. The first one is HSA. This is with pre-tax dollars, and my goal is to save $1,300, which is about $50 a paycheck, since I'm paid bi-weekly. So I'll track that here. Every paycheck I'll go in and put how much I've saved. So the second line is HSA, but it's the employer contribution. That's what the E stands for. And I put pre-tax, so it's like next to my HSA line, but technically that's just the employer contribution, so it doesn't even get taxed, I don't think. It would just be like the regular like investment account taxing. And my employer contributes $600 a year. They do $150 quarterly, so I'll get my first contribution in January. The next is my 401k employer match. My employer contributes up to 4% of what I contribute. It's 100% for the first 3%. And then 50% for the next 2. So to get the full match, I have to contribute 5% and they contribute 4%. So I'm expecting them to contribute about $2,500 to my 401k. We'll skip down one line and look at my 401k. I don't know if I can move this. Oop, I don't want to mess with that, but my 401k contribution is post-tax because I am doing a Roth 401k. $3,100 is what I'm hoping to contribute via my paycheck. So it's automatically deducted. It's just they take 5% of my post-tax dollars. Next up is my Roth IRA. Obviously this is a post-tax account, and I would do the full, like the limit of $7,000. And again, I'm hoping to get this done by the first quarter of 2024. Finally, something I'm adding this year is a brokerage account, and I'm going to contribute to this using post-tax dollars. I'm hoping for this first year to get to $3,000. And all of that totals up to the $17,500. So I think every paycheck I'll come in here and update these amounts, and I will probably do like a end of quarter one check-in and see where we are. All right, so for my savings buckets, I broke this down into a few different savings categories. Technically, travel can go into sinking funds, but for me, that's its own separate thing. So sinking funds are all my sinking funds that you've seen in my YNAB budget. It's things like Christmas, rideshare, miscellaneous, technology, blah, 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 all those things. And right now I have just over almost $2,700 saved. My goal is to get all those maxed out to the levels that I have set for them, which would be 6,130. As you can see, I'm less than halfway there, but I think it's a decent starting point. I have contributed to this a little bit with my last YNAB budget with me, but there's still a long way to go. About $3,500 too, I think. That will definitely be a big focus for me this year, getting those savings back up. I just spent them all throughout the year and didn't save up for it again. So I want to start saving for potentially buying a house or a condo, probably a condo. This year I hope to save up $4,000. That's my stretch goal. A more realistic goal with everything else I'm hoping to save and invest is probably $2,500, but I've decided to put $4,000 in there, and why not? My next savings bucket is for travel. I have $1,500 in there right now. Goal is to get it up to $3,000 as minimum. My real goal is $5,000, but that's not like the stretch goal that I want to focus on now. I'd rather focus on the home down payment than on a travel fund. So right now I am halfway to my goal, but I have a trip in 2.5 weeks, so that will go down. I'll have to update that at that time once we know how much we spent. It really shouldn't be that expensive because we're visiting my brother in Puerto Rico, so we'll be staying with him, and then it'll basically just be any food and activities that we do, and we'll probably like treat him to a meal. Him and his wife treat everyone to a meal, so we can say like thank you for having us. And then my final like savings goal is to bring my emergency fund up to $20,000. It's at about $17,500 right now. It will go up just a little bit and bring it over the $17,500 once my interest hits on my high yield savings account, which it should be around $80 some, and that will put me again over the $17,500. But I want to bring this up to $20,000. It's just a nicer number, and that is what I hope to have. So as you can see here, I need about $12,000, a little less than $12,000 to hit all of my savings goals. So that's a lot of money for me. So I'm not sure how doable these will be, but I'll keep tracking them each month and share probably once a quarter, like where I'm at and what my progress is. So that's it for this part of the video. I forgot to mention this earlier, but my second part of the video, so this is going to be a bit of a long one, is going to be kind of redoing my YNAB budget and getting it ready for 2024. I've been waiting to film this until today, which is December 31st, because I want to make sure that I run my YNAB reports using my current categories and category groups before I make any changes. I want to see the numbers how I have them now, and I might run them again with the new categories, but that's why I've been waiting so long to post this, to film this and then post. Hi guys, I'm back. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd, so it's been a couple of days since I filmed the first part of the video. Yesterday we had such a lazy day and I didn't want to ruin it by doing anything, including something fun like recording a YNAB video. We just basically lounged around all day, ate pizza, watched movies, Game of Thrones. It was lovely. Today I went back to work, but I did work from home, and now it's 8:30 p.m. The night got away from me, so trying to get this done before going to bed so I can edit tomorrow and then upload on Thursday. All right, so I am just going to make some quick changes to my budget for 2024. I've already run my 2023 reports, so that's ready to go. I just have to film a video kind of just going over all my expenses and my income for the year. So that will be coming soon. I don't think it'll be the next video because I get paid in a couple of days, so I'll have to film a budget with me, but it should be the week after, so next week. We'll just go through each category group and make changes as needed. Let's see here. First, I will hide interest and fees. I just pulled this out for, again, my reports, but I don't typically fund this. This is only if for whatever reason I get hit with interest or a fee. It's just sometimes I forget to make a credit card payment and then I get like a couple of dollars worth of interest, but typically this is hidden. Okay. One of the things I've decided to do is to group my streaming services, I guess, into one. I just don't need to break it down into 3 different ones, just because I know what they are. And then if other like streaming costs come up, like sometimes I'll have like Peacock or something else, I can just add the transaction to the streaming category without having to like put it in miscellaneous or something. As you can see, a couple of my transactions for Netflix and Apple One have already gone through, so I won't have to worry about moving that money, but I will. I think I'm just going to hide them. I don't think I'm going to delete them. I had to go in and move my transactions. I forgot that would need to happen. Okay, so now that the Netflix and Apple One transactions have been moved to streaming, I can move the money over too. I'm creating a target to include Apple One, Netflix, and Hulu. And I think I'm going to make a note. Apple One. Now I'm also going to create another, I guess, line for subscriptions. So 4077 is what I will make my target for subscriptions. That will include my Peloton, New York Times, Amazon, and YNAB. The Amazon and YNAB I pay yearly. Amazon I split with my sister and our friends, so my portion of that would be $55 or just under. $55 typically covers it. YNAB, it's for the full amount of $98.99, so that will all be included in the subscriptions category. So I've just, again, taken the full year of YNAB, the full year of Amazon, divided that by 12, and then added Peloton and New York Times to that. So we want to create a monthly target of 4070. We'll do 4078 to be safe. Create needed for spending. Save target. Now we moved the money over for Peloton, so we can hide that one. All right, and so now we're also going to do credit card fees, and I have 3 credit cards on here. I have my Chase Sapphire card, which is $95 a year. The Southwest card is like $69, and then my American Express Platinum card was $695, which is, I know, a ton of money. But I looked at the benefits that the card offers, and I could almost all the way like fully get my money back with the entertainment credit, the Saks credit, hotel credit, airline credit, things like that. So it's just basically me fronting the money, and then I get the money back in other ways throughout the year. So this is my 2nd year with a credit card. I don't think I'm going to renew after this year. Right now I have almost 200,000 points that I'm saving for a trip this year. And after that, I will cancel in November, so I won't have to pay this anymore. So I'll go ahead and hide that category. What else? Oh, the reason I signed up for this card, even though it's so much money, is because the travel bonus when I signed up, like the points bonus was, I want to say it was 150,000 points. I'm pretty sure it was. And then I've just been putting all of my spending on it to build up the points even more so that we can book a hotel or something on our trip. But again, I wouldn't have done it if only for the point. Well, I would have done it for the points the first year, but the 2nd year, the other benefits really are what sold me, and you get access to lounges, things like that. But it'll only be for this year. And the Southwest card, I actually am going to cancel. I don't use it anymore. I signed up, got points, used it for a while, and there's no need for me to pay $69 a year for this. So I'll move this money over to Sapphire. No, I won't. I won't do that. So I'll move the Southwest money to credit card fees, and then I'll hide this. And then the Sapphire money I will also move to credit card fees. And then let's take a look. For Sapphire, I need $95 by May 1st. So we'll adjust this target. We'll create a target, $95. Yeah, that looks right. I just want to fix these. I think this is the order I want them in. What else? So down here, A and G is a category group for things to do with my boyfriend and me. We were looking into possibly adopting a dog, so we rented a car, went out to the suburbs of Chicago, looked, we met with the dog, but honestly he had a lot of issues and we just weren't ready for that commitment. But I know he got adopted by a good family because he was such a good dog. His name was Turtle. But in the future, for when we do decide to adopt a dog, I will have the category ready, but for now we'll hide it. And then here I am going to combine these two. I don't need to have a specific category for his birthday and gifts for him. And this, like if I ever buy him something like throughout the year or treat him to something, that's where the transaction would be recorded. So I will combine these two into one. So hey, gift. And I think I'm gonna up the budget since it's more than just a birthday gift. We'll do $600 for now, and then you know, adjust as needed, fill it up as needed, whatever. And these are okay, we'll leave them as that. All right, in the Gabby Improvement Fund, the only thing I want to change is my grooming category. Budget is $25, but I find that I use $25 fairly often. So I want to start building this up a little bit. So I think I'm going to edit my Target and do just $30. And then when I can, I'll send a little extra money here and there. The $75 I have in there are from already like in previous months throwing extra to it. It just feels like every single month I spend like at least 20 bucks, closer to like 28, 27, 28 usually, which is crazy because I feel like I don't use a lot of stuff, but like dry shampoos, razors, all that comes out of here. So it gets kind of expensive. And I think I want to change this to personal care. Alrighty, so I think that's all I want to do with this category. Next up is home goods. So I've seen a lot of people have like a home, like, what's it called? Household like durables, consumables, things like that, broken up in that way. And I am definitely going to do that as well. Just because like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning products, like I would normally put those under home goods, but it's not really. I think this is more for like when I bought some like cups in December, like that went in there, or maybe it was November, I don't really know, but that goes in there, or like well, not a candle, just things that are more durable. That would go under home goods, and that's what this $300 budget is for. I'm creating a new category, and I think it's going to go into variable expenses, but it's going to be like an ongoing one that I let roll over month after month, because so household consumables is just going to be for things like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning products, like I said. I was a little torn on whether or not I should add a Target to this. I'm gonna make it a small one because my budget is really tight right now. I'm just really trying to fund my Roth IRA fairly quickly. By the end of the first quarter is what my goal is, and I would have mentioned that earlier in this video. So even adding $10, I'm like, ugh, but I need it. I need to build this up, because typically we buy these like household consumables, it tends to be in bulk. We'll place an Instacart order from Costco and get like a big thing of toilet paper, paper towels, the Clorox wipes, scent boosters, laundry pods, like all the things. And that ends up being a lot of money. Obviously, I split it 50-50 with my boyfriend, but it'd be nice to have a little money in there for when the time comes. And then once I'm not focused on my Roth IRA, I can, you know, add a little bit more to this and kind of have like a base. And then I think, let's see here. I think I'm gonna add another category group here, EBC, initiation fee, and this is for our gym. So they had a $700 initiation fee. Because of my company, we got a $200 discount on that fee, so it was $500. And then what they do is they split up the initiation fee into the first half, so $250 was due the day that we signed up. The second half, the other $250, would be due in 6 months. So that would be May 1st would be the 6-month period. So I need to start saving for my half of the initiation fee. And then I'll make this a target of $125. It's a one-time target, custom. So I'm just going to use this kind of as a holding category. I'm going to save up the money in this category, and then when the time comes and we have that transaction, it'll go under my EBC, which is my monthly charge. Like that's where the charge hits. Yeah, okay, just change things up. So the ones up here in the bills category group are all bills that need to be paid each month, and then it would completely wipe these categories out, bring them down to 0. The ones down here have, well, like subscriptions, for example, has some fees that are monthly, but there's a couple of fees in there that would be for yearly, so we wouldn't clear out these categories. We'll post whatever the transaction is, it will take that, and then the rest of the money will just roll over month after month until those yearly transactions hit. And that's what we're going to do with it, the East Bank initiation fee. Let it roll over. Once it's fully funded, we'll send that over to EBC up here and post the transaction up there. Let's take a quick look and see where we're at. If there's anything else that I want to update. These look good. I'm considering combining these 3 into one like category, because technically it's all eating out. The reason I broke it up was just more to like have data to see how much money I'm spending on work lunches versus eating out like during the weekends after work with my boyfriend, friends, whatever. That's what the dining out category is for. Work lunches is like strictly when I'm at work and I go get food or order food. It's that. Treats is if I get a treat while I'm out. But honestly, like, it's usually vending machine stuff, if I'm being honest. And so my total like eating out budget is $300. I rarely spend the full amount. So I'm considering combining these 3. I haven't made that decision yet, so I'm going to leave it as is. But yeah. And then delivery is, I've mentioned this before, but it's just a tracking category to see how much money we spent on food being delivered to like our home, for example. So any transactions that go in here, I just get the money from dining out and transfer it down. And then I did that for this $1.59, and I snoozed the target so it wouldn't tell me that I still needed money. The $1.59 is we got Uber Eats, and I had, as part of my American Express benefits, $15 Uber cash each month. So I used those $15, and this was the difference that I needed to contribute. My boyfriend paid for the other half. All right. This is the one I'm struggling. I'm not sure where to put this household consumables. I'm thinking sinking funds, actually. Yeah, I think this is better because ideally I want this to grow. I don't want it to be cleared out at the end of the month like these 2 category groups are. That's good. Oh, and I'm not sure if I ever explained this, but EBC holding is another holding category for the gym, and it's in case we ever want to do more tennis or something that costs money at the gym, and I don't have it budgeted for here because we've really been restricting ourselves with the tennis to not go over budget and not go too often as much as we'd like to. But in the off months that we do want to go a little bit more, I have money to pull from here, and this is just like leftover money from these 2 categories that I transferred over to this one while at the end of the month. And I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to let accumulate there before I start reassigning that to other priorities. Just gonna hide these 3 categories down here. We just don't need them right now. Alrighty, I think that is it for the updates that I'm making to my YNAB budget. Obviously, there weren't that many changes because I'm pretty happy with how everything was. I just kind of wanted to consolidate things a little bit more. I think that was my big focus of this like exercise, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Sorry it was so long. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.